Hello friends, welcome to the video lecture on operating systems. Here we are going to see part 2 of unit 3, that is chapter 10, virtual memory. This is Satish Pandian, assistant professor, department of CSE, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Nayakanur. So first we will see the definition of virtual memory. Normally to execute a process we need a memory, we have to allocate memory. Suppose the allocated memory is smaller than the process size, then some amount of secondary storage can be used for execution. So that excess memory is called virtual memory. Okay. So virtual memory is a technique that allows the execution of process that may not be completely in the memory because the process size is greater than the main memory size. So some amount of excess memory, that is a hard disk, from the hard disk memory is taken, that is a virtual memory. So virtual memory normally implemented by demand paging. So sometime it is implemented by demand segmentation. So that only we are going to see in the new topic, demand paging. So demand paging is nothing but a paging system similar to paging with the swapping. Okay, so two techniques are combined here, that is a paging and swapping. So demand paging equal to paging plus swapping. Okay, so normally initially the process are available only on a hard disk. Whenever we want to execute, that should be loaded in the main memory. Here, instead of swapping the entire process, so entire process we are not going to swap into main memory, so we will use a lazy swapper. What this lazy swapper will do means, which never swaps a page into memory unless the page will be needed. Whenever a page, normally process is divided into pages. Okay, suppose a process contain 10 pages, at a time, suppose 2 to 3 pages only needed for execution, only the lazy swapper loads 3 pages into main memory for execution. It never loads all the 10 pages, that is the entire process will not be loaded. That is a demand paging technique. Okay, so here paging plus swapping concept, demand paging, two techniques used. No, so that diagram is given here. So swapping is swapping the process from main memory to secondary storage, here given swap out, here moving to secondary storage, here bringing another process to main memory. While moving, we are moving the pages also. So here 1, 2, 3, 4. So process A we have 4 pages, these 4 pages we are moving out. Similarly process B we have 3 pages, 1, 2, 3, that is here. Those 3 pages we are loading into main memory for execution. Okay, this diagram tells what is a valid or invalid bit. Okay, and also we can define what is page fault from this diagram. Okay, so here this is a logical memory of a particular process. So totally we have 8 pages, so 0 to 7, totally we have 8 pages. For the particular process we have page table, it also contain 8 rows. Okay, so see that among the 8 pages only 3 pages are in the main memory, A, C and F. So those 3 entries, you see that here it is valid, here valid, here valid. Okay, so A is in the frame number 4, so that is written here. C is 6, so here, and then F is 9, that is here. Okay, remaining pages are actually in the hard disk, that is B, and then D, E, G, H, those 5 are in the hard disk. So those bits are invalid here. Okay, so what is invalid? Invalid means the page is not in the main memory, it is in the hard disk, so that is called actually page fault. Okay, so here it is given, if a process tries to access a page that is not currently on the memory, then which is called a page fault. So if there is a page fault, what we have to do? Suppose I want to access B, so here it is invalid, so B is not in the main memory, actually it is in secondary storage. So what we have to do? We have to bring the uh, page into main memory. So here we have to put, okay, B. So corresponding frame number 3, here we have to update frame number 3. This we have to change it as valid. Okay, so that is called steps to handle page fault. So we will see that steps, totally 6 steps are there in this diagram, we will see that. Okay, so first we are referring the page table. Here actually invalid, that means the page is not available in the main memory. This is main memory, the page is not in the main memory, so page fault occurs. Okay, so if there is a page fault, then second step we have to generate one interrupt. Trap is an interrupt, generate in the interrupt, it is given to the operating system. Then third step, where the page will be, the page will be actually in the hard disk. So here we have a hard disk. This is our required page. It is in the hard disk. Okay, we have to find the desired page, and then in the main memory, identify the free frame. Free frame means a free location. So in that location, move the desired page from the hard disk. So from the hard disk, bring the desired page to the main memory. Once here you moved, we have to update the page table. Suppose this entry is 3 means here you have to update 3, and then this bit is now valid because now the page is in the main memory. That is a fifth step, reset the page table. And then sixth step, restart the instruction. Again, if you execute, now we have the page in the main memory, we can execute. Okay, so this is how to handle page fault. That is 6 steps given here. Okay, so like demand paging, we have pure demand paging. So it never bring a page into memory until it is required. Again, it is similar to demand paging only. So here hardware support, the main things are page table is required, and then second is storage. Hard disk also required for implementing this demand paging. Okay, so that's all about that topic. Next topic is page replacement. Okay, so page replacement is, suppose consider here a main memory. Main memory is divided into frames. Okay, so consider here 4 frames. Already I have 4 pages in the main memory, 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 pages already available. Now I have a fifth page to execute. We want to load it in the main memory. Okay, so we have to find a frame which is free. So here only 4 frames, but all the 4 frames already pages are stored, 1 2 3 4. There is no free frame. In that case, we have to go for a page replacement. Okay, so already 4 pages are available. Which pages no longer used? So here it is given which page is no longer used, that will be replaced. Suppose page 1 is not required, means you can remove page 1. So in this place we can insert this new page 5. That is called a page replacement. Okay, so those steps are uh, first to find the location of the page on the disk. So the 5 only I am going to bring. So from the hard disk we have to find where the page 5 is there. Okay, next step, find a free frame. So in the main memory, here find a free frame. If there is a free frame, we can use it. Otherwise use page replacement algorithm. Any algorithm we have to use to find a victim page. Victim page means this one, the page is no longer used, that we have to identify. Here we identified one. No, one is a victim page. So now write the victim page to the disk. So this one is now sent back to our disk. Okay, it is written on the hard disk. Now that location is free. In that location the new page 5 is loaded. Okay, that is here. Okay, correspondingly you have to update the page tables. So this is a diagram. So first we have to identify the victim page that is sent back to the hard disk. For this victim page we have to update the page table entry is invalid because now it is not in the main memory. Then new page we are bringing in the free frame location. For this new page we have to update the page table entry as valid. Okay, so this is our steps for a page replacement. And then we have algorithms, 3 algorithms. um, this graph is important here. So here if you increase the number of frames, frames means in the main memory. Here we told no, here 4 frames. Okay, similarly if the main memory have 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, like that if you increase, and then this one, the page fault will decrease. Okay, so this is oppositely proportional. If you increase the number of frames, the page fault decrease. This is general case. Okay, so FIFO page replacement algorithm, where the oldest page is chosen for replacement. So which page is first inserted in the main memory will be replaced. Okay, that is a FIFO replacement. In FIFO replacement, there is a thing called a Blady anomaly. Already we seen a graph here. If you increase the number of frames, page fault should decrease. But see here, from this point to this point, if you increase the number of frames from 3 to 4, the page fault should decrease. But here it is increasing. While increasing number of frames, the page fault also increase. That is called Blady's anomaly. Normally this is happen in FIFO page replacement algorithm. And the next algorithm is optimal. Here replace the page that will not be used for longest period of time. Okay, that page is replaced. And then LRU replace the page that has not been used for longest period of time, that will be replaced. Okay, so this LRU can be implemented using counters and stack. Other replacement algorithms, LRU approximation, and then two counting based algorithms, least frequently used, most frequently used, and then page buffering. Okay. The last topic is thrashing. It's nothing but a high level paging activity. Here a process is thrashing if it is spending more time on paging than executing. Okay, so processes instead of executing, it is spending more time on paging, that is called thrashing. So see this graph, if you increase the degree of multiprogramming, CPU utilization also increase, but after some time here, so here thrashing occurs. Once thrashing comes, automatically, if you increase the degree of multiprogramming, the CPU utilization decreases. Okay, so that's all about this chapter.